All praise and honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAKWADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the Akim out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video. Something I was meditating on a little earlier. You women, women, men, and especially women. The biggest problem with this society and the biggest problem with America, the biggest problem with this world in general is that everybody has way too many options. And I say this a lot. Everybody has way too many options, but especially the women, This is why, women say things and do things, so openly, because judgment is not executed speedily, right? They can, spit on you. As a man, they could spit on you. They could scratch you, they could slap you, they can throw a brick through your window, or your car, through your house, slash your tires, throw antifreeze on your car and destroy the paint. You know what I mean? Just do all kinds of things, man. Right? They could talk to you any kind of way, especially in public. You know what I mean? And because they know they can get away with it. And out of all of this that these women are doing, you have still a lot of men out there that will sit up there and say, well, no matter what, man, no matter what, I always respect a woman, no matter what, man. And again, this is because it's too much freedom, it's too much liberty, it is way too many options for these people out here. Like I said, especially the women, right? See, us as men, at least a lot of us, we have to think twice about doing certain things. You know what I mean? We can't walk up in the store and rob it and just expect a slap on the wrist like a woman will, because they'll just sit up there and say, well, she's just going through some depressing times. And you know who else they do that with? Edomites, so-called white people. That's who else they do that with. But I'm doing this video, because like I said, going into the option part, way too many options. Eventually, the options are going to run out. See, this freedom and this liberty and this feminist stuff and this woman liberation and all this crap, y'all the goddesses of the earth and stuff like that. We tell you right now, man. We tell you right now. And that day, and I'm going to explain to you what that day is. Eventually, all those options that you got, all this liberty, that's all going to fade, man. These opinions, right? The option to just lay around and the option to just do whatever you want. We're telling you right now, that stuff is get ready to go. You women are going to start having to learn how to share men, because that's what's get ready to happen. That's exactly what's get ready to happen. This ain't going to be like one of your Hollywood movies like Resident Evil, where it's post-apocalyptic and this woman is up spin kicking and kicking ass and stuff, man. No. This is not like that. It's going to be nowhere near it. You women are going to have to start learning how to share men, man. These times is coming, man. I'm going to start off with Isaiah 3:16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a twinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of her head of the daughters of Zion. This is why you got a lot of so-called black women or Israelite women in general wearing weaves and wigs and stuff like that because the hair is gone. All right, that's a biblical curse. That's a curse, right? Because because we started mingling in with those other nations. So the Lord said, well, now from messing with those other nations made your hair all messed up. You know what I mean? So, but that was a curse that the Lord was already going to put on us because of look at what we're doing today. This is exactly what the 12 tribes of Israel are doing today. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. What we're doing today is exactly why we're in this situation we're in now. Right? This is why you have the Wiz Khalifas and the Big X the Plugs and the Glorillas and the Sexy Reds and the whoever else you could think of, man. The Kodak Blacks and the Lil Boosies and shit like that, man. No other nation is going through this stuff. No other nation is going through this stuff, man. At least on a high scale level, like the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans are, but especially the Negroes, because Judites, Judah is the top tribe. So those Judites, they catch the most of the curse, pretty much, right? Anyway, it says, therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will smite their secret parts. All right. Oops. Salaki. And in that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their twinkling art or ornaments about their feet, and their coals and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, the waistbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, right? And see, this is what's happening right now, right? I'm going to let you look at this in another translation, because now this is going to go into Isaiah 4:1. This is why I went back, right? Because if you notice in Isaiah 4:1, it says, in that day. See, us in the norm, we know what that day is, right? But it's always good, as we always say, it's always good to go back. Let's, go back a couple verses. Go back a couple. Well, in this case, this is back a whole other chapter, because it's starting on Isaiah 4:1. It's always good to go back a couple verses, a couple chapters if you need to. Don't be lazy. That's all. It's all about researching, right? So what's happening here? Thy men shall fall by the sword. These guns. What are men my age? Most men my age in their 20s or even younger doing? Out gang banging. If they even want to call it gang banging. Right? I don't know what the hell this crap is now, right? Weed it up all the time. Every Jake most Jake that I see is either weeded up or vaped up. And always got that on my mama, bro, and then blow you away. Always threatening to kill you, man. And that's what's happening out there right now, man. Right? It says, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Now I'm gonna get this in another translation, and then we're gonna go on to Isaiah 4. All right. Now this one, this is in the NLT, which is like the other one that I kind of like going into, a warning to Jerusalem. All right. Lord says, beautiful Zion is haughty. Right. So again, remember how we said these scriptures go manifold. The daughters of Zion. Right. The Lord looks at, it's an order, right? You have Yahawah, you have YAHAWASHI, you have the men, the women, and the children, right? It's all in order. The real, technically, if you want to look at it, especially in a society, I mean, not a society, in a scripture like this, you want to look at it technically, the daughters of Zion is really starting with the men, right? That's what this is really going into, beautiful Zion. Remember I said daughters of Zion. But this is most definitely talking about the women too, because as you saw in the other one, it was saying Judah's women pretty much degraded. And this is pure prophecy. So obviously, yes, this is most definitely talking about the women. I'm just saying in other cases, right? Beautiful Zion, daughters of Zion, so etc. This is why you women out there have to really, you daughters of Zion, you daughters of Zion, because that's what you are, right? I get it. We get it. And we all under a curse. But you have to, as we always say, be really, really careful what you call yourself, because the 2/3 of women are considered the daughters of Zion as well, right? They're just in a world. They're just completely destroyed. You just have a little more sense. And the same thing goes for men, right? What we looked at is Jerusalem, right? Well, Jerusalem is considered the 2/3 as well. Maybe not in this society, because the 2/3 really are considered heathen. So it's daughters of Zion. They really are considered heathen. But I'm just saying, as a whole nation. I'm saying this because, I see a lot of that. Daughter of Zion this, daughter of Zion that. You women have to keep down that pride, man. Y'all have to keep down that pride. Women have an awful lot of pride, and so do men. Obviously, you can't tell, man. You can't tell most of these men nothing, man. And unfortunately, you got some men that bring that same attitude and the truth. So when they're told something about, okay, well, look out for your woman, man. Look out, watch her patterns, man. Don't be no fool, right? Jake. They got way too much pride, and they'll say, oh, no, man, I ain't got no problem with the woman. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. All right, well, you handle it yourself. But everybody's got too much pride, because all of us, men, women, all of us have way too many options. It's just that women have a lot more options than men. But either way, it is still too many, right? So as you see here, right? So it's pretty much all a warning to Jerusalem. But this is most definitely talking about the woman. All right. Here we go. It says the men of the city will be killed with the sword, and her warriors will die in battle. Again, we're constantly being killed by these damn guns out here, man. Right. So let's go on to Isaiah 4:1 now. All right. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Isaiah 4:1. All right. It says, and in that day, so few men. Well, let's save that for a minute. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now, I'm going to go back to the NLT and let you read that there. And in that day, so few men will be left, right? So few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. Now, I got a question, right? If for you Christians out there, if we were married, so like if we were all equal, men, women, if we were all equal, because I got news for you, man. Men aren't even equal to men. Women aren't even equal to women. Everybody is different. What makes you think two separate genders are the exact same? There's a reason why you're different, right? That's like saying the Samsung is pretty much LG. You know what I mean? They're both Android, sure, but they're totally different. Or like the A20 versus the A16, right? They're both Android and they're both pretty much Samsung, but they're two different phones. There's a reason for that. They're different. They're not the same exact phone. So we're all human, and sure, you have the Israelite man and the Israelite woman. Yeah, we're human. Number one, we're Israelite. Number two, but we're not the same. Again, if we were the same, it doesn't make sense how we would be two different genders if we were the same, right? Secondly, how come this scripture didn't say on the flip side, like maybe verse 2, 7 men are going to take hold of one woman? How come it didn't say that? How come it didn't say something like likewise, or also seven men are going to take hold of one woman and saying, let us marry you? Because the Lord is not an author of confusion. So we're not equal. Nothing about men and women are equal. We have two different roles, right? Two different body parts. And I'm not just talking about that body part that all of us know. I'm just saying in general. Our organs are made differently, right? We're able to take certain things. Women are able to take certain things. We're different. All right. So anyway, and in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. Let's translate that part to 2016 language. So we aren't looked at, this was pretty much what they're saying, we aren't looked at as thoughts. We aren't looked at as hoes and bitches and nothing like that. Just useless, you know what I mean? You women, man, y'all won't have to wake up fast. Y'all have to wake up fast, right? I mean, you got these preppers. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, it's so much happening right now. I have no idea how a lot of you people just cannot see this stuff, right? So I'm gonna come back to the scripture. And let's get Isaiah 13. All right. Because that beginning part, it says so few men are going to be left, right? Because they're all getting killed, right? Let's get Isaiah 13 and 12. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Right. This is why we tell, this is why elders try to tell Jake, tell these brothers, don't stress over the woman, man. That stuff comes naturally. Our focus as men is getting our salvation. All right. Our focus as men is salvation and keeping our minds right and not being taken by this stuff, whether it be women doctrines, whatever. That is the purpose of us being we call ourselves prophets, right? We can't. This is going to come naturally. This is you see, you got a lot of brothers out there that just stress over these women. They just stress over this stuff. They are the Lord made them to be ratchet. That's just what it is. I'm not going to sit up there and fight tooth and nail over a damn woman. That's still putting way too much power in her hands. And how do you take that? Because honestly, us as men, we don't have power, but we do actually through the spirit of power, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, how do you take the power away from somebody while you don't have any power? Especially these women. Ignore them. Keep living your life. That's how you take the power away. You keep paying them your attention. Then they got you. They got your mind. They got your mind. It says, but I will make a man more precious than fine gold. So even the men, so let's say, because there's still going to be like, a lot of men left, right? But it's saying that day so few men will be left. Now, another way of saying that there's going to be so few men left is saying we're talking about like actual tough, real men, right? I'm talking about like real men. To that spirit. And that day, quote unquote, on quotations, in that day, times and attitudes, the attitudes are going to be different in men and women. And that's the point of this video. The attitudes in that day are going to be different, right? The BS that the men had, it's going to be like it's going to be a whole different atmosphere. Again, this goes into everybody having too much freedom, too much independence. When that stuff is taken away in that day, mindsets are going to change. Women are naturally going to seek men. See, you women can say whatever you want right now. You could look at this video and sit up there and say, "You just a brokey, dusty nigga, whatever y'all call niggas or whatever. I don't know what the hell y'all call them anymore." But anyway, you could look at this video and say whatever, mutter yourself, whatever you want to say. I'm telling you through the spirit of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. We're telling you through the spirit of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI that in that day, your opinions, your mindset that you got right now, gone. Right? This kind of goes back to that whole, what the mark of the beast, right? You got a lot of people out there sit up there and say, man, I ain't going to take that. Ain't nobody put no chip in me. Ain't nobody going to do that. Ain't nobody going to do that. Okay. I mean, when your stomach touching your back and you ain't got no choice, what you gonna do? Because a lot of y'all said that y'all wasn't gonna take those vaccines, but a lot of y'all ended up doing it. We got a couple neighbors around here that said they wasn't going to take it, and they ended up taking it. It took them a little bit. I'll give them that. I'll give them a little credit. It took them a little bit, but they ended up taking it. And a lot of them are, you guessed it, Christians. God-fearing Christians. Yep. They relied on that more than the Lord, as they always do. Right? Let's read a little more. I ain't got nothing but time, man. It's only a 23 minute video, man. Let's go. It says, but in that day, the branch of the Lord will be beautiful and glorious. The fruit of the land will be the pride of the glory of all who survive in Israel. All who remain in Zion will be a holy people. Those who survive the destruction of Jerusalem and are recorded among the living. So, like, it says, the Lord will wash the filth from beautiful Zion, right, and cleanse Jerusalem of its blood stains with the hot breath of fiery judgment. It says, then the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, will provide shade for Mount Zion and all who will assemble there. He will provide a canopy of cloud during the day and a smoke and flaming fire at night, covering the glorious land. It will be a shelter from daytime heat and a hiding place from storms and rain. Pretty much, the Lord is going to heal us. Right? That's pretty much all this is saying. The Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is coming with healing in his wings, man. Right? The Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is getting ready to come with healing. And that's just what it is. Right? Now, I kind of like the KJV version a little better because it kind of goes like really, really into it. It says, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem. So you see how it said, how it showed the daughters. That's why I like this one a little better. It separated the daughters of Zion and Jerusalem. So it still talked about the entire people, but you see it still talk about women, right? And shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment, and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create. Let's see here. Yeah. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, right? And upon her assemblies a cloud of and smoke by day, and shining of flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain. So that's all I got on this, man. You know, the Lord is going to really cleanse the nation of Israel in general. But before then, you know, and part of the cleansing is a man having as many wives as he so much pleases. That's a man. Look, that's a natural thing. This is why every man, I don't care who the hell you are, every man, quote unquote, cheats. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's in our nature. That's why we really can't so-called cheat on a woman unless one or two things. Number one, honestly, no, you can really, if you really think about it, no, you can't even really cheat on a woman. I was getting ready to say because she is the wife of another man, which really means you are cheating on, you're pretty much cheating on that man. Because that woman, see, that's still giving woman too much power. That woman belongs to that man. You cannot, it's really impossible to cheat on a woman. You can't do it, but you can cheat on a man. You're cheating on that woman's husband. You're attacking him. That's his property. When you attack a man's car, that's his property. He's coming straight for you. This is why when, somebody messes with a man's wife, he comes into the defense, because she belongs to him. But people don't see it like that. They still think that she's equal to him, even though he's the one protecting her. Well, if that's the case, then how come she doesn't protect him? When he doesn't protect her, it's looked at as an issue. Right, because that she belongs to him. He don't belong to her. She belongs to him. And that's just what it is, man. This is in our nature to desire women. You got to remember, even with this low testosterone we have, right? Because of society and food and the stress and the air and just the pollution all together, and the vaccines are obviously that'll help. Due to even with this low testosterone, we will still desire women, and there is nothing you can do about that. This is what Esau Edom hates. This is why you have all of these diseases, and this is why we always tell Jake, man, be careful with who you mess with, man. All these goddamn diseases out here is ridiculous. And be careful who you mess with, man. Pray to the Lord, man. Pray to the Lord, YAHAWASHI. But we telling you right now, in a righteous society, man, a man is gonna have whatever the hell he want to have, as far as when it comes to women, right? A man is gonna come home and have his pick. Well, let me say, before even coming home, he's gonna, okay, well, she, my wife, maybe I'll mess with the 20th one. Yeah, maybe I'll go hit her up real quick. And he takes off to her house. All right? It's gonna be natural, man. But before that, the Lord is going to show a glimpse of that. When hell breaks loose, yeah, that whole strong woman, independent woman attitude, all that stuff is gonna be gone. It's only I'm going to keep saying this, man. It's only but so much we can sit here, do these lessons, and tell you, because in your eyes, we're just going to still be looked at as just either a hate group or just your average nigga standing on the corner. That's it. Oh, who is he? He can't tell me nothing. Okay, well, have fun, man. So anyway, that's all I got on this. Giving all praise, honor, glory to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and Kakawadash. You and men going to have to start learning how to share men. All right. Shalom.